Yo dudes! Welcome to Low FODMAP Friday. So this is a really exciting concept that we're introducing to you guys. We're going to upload a low FODMAP recipe every Friday for the full month of January to really support anyone that's taking on veganuary, anyone that's new to eating a vegan diet.
What's low FODMAP?
Oh, great question, Steve. So FODMAP, fermentable oligopyrrole, monosaccharide and polyols. So in essence, it's really reducing the fermentable foods in your gut. For anyone that's new to a vegan diet or a whole food plant-based diet, their fiber intake is increasing massively, and that can lead to bloating, it can lead to other digestive issues and IBS. Reducing the amount of fermentable foods can be really beneficial to really maintain the transition, get your microbiome used to these fermentable foods, and it's a great short-term solution. So every Friday in January, we're gonna upload a low FODMAP recipe.
Today we're gonna be cooking a very simple chickpea, aubergine and oyster mushroom curry.
Takes 15 minutes, it's simple, it's low in fermentable foods, and we're gonna tell you all about FODMAP while we're cooking. So first step, we're gonna put our pan on a high heat.
In on top of that, we got 2 tablespoons of oil. Thumb-sized piece of ginger. I'm going with organic, so I'm going to leave the skin on. Just chop it finely.
Okay, so I see there's no onion and garlic. What's the story? We use onion and garlic in all our recipes.
So typically the base of most vegan cooking is based around onion and garlic. However, they're high fermentable. We want to make these low FODMAP, so we're leaving them out. We're basing it on ginger and chili. So pan on high heat, oil's got nice and hot. In goes our ginger and chili.
So there's certain fruit and veg that are high FODMAP and ones that are low. Obviously we want it being low FODMAP because that's the importable, reducing the fermentable type foods. Okay, so oyster mushrooms are one of the few mushrooms that have been tested for FODMAPs and are all low, so they're good to go. Certainly at 150 grams per portion. Obviously there's more mushrooms than have been tested on this planet. So
did you know there's 6 times more mushrooms than there are plant-based vegetables?
Plants in general.
Plants in general.
Yeah.
So in goes our mushrooms into the pan.
250 grams of oyster, torn, shredded, sliced, whatever you want.
Aubergine. Friends often call these devil food. They're incredible, they're delicious, and they are magnificent. One of the main reasons why people hate aubergine is they don't cook them properly and they leave them go rubbery. So one of the secrets to aubergines is make sure to chop them into a uniform size so that they'll cook evenly, and then the other one is cook them till they become melt in your mouth texture. Try to chop them smaller, they'll cook quicker.
Okay, so we fried in the mushrooms for about 3 minutes. They're starting to brown, they're nice and perfect. Steve's prepped the aubergine into small, uniform little sizes, and now to add them to the pan.
If you'd like to learn more about low FODMAP cooking and how to improve your digestion,
we've got a great course. It's an online 6-week course called our Happy Gut course. We've partnered with a plant-based gastroenterologist, Dr. Alan Desmond, and a plant-based dietitian.
What does gastroenterologist mean, Dave?
Digestive doctor. And we've developed this 6-week online course. It's amazing to kind of reset your gut, improve your digestion, reduce your bloating. And for anyone transitioning from a typical Western diet to plant-based diet, it is so good. We're so proud of it. First course starts in January.
Link down below. First course starts in January, starts every month. Check it out.
Meanwhile, back to the recipe. Here we go. Okay, so we've cooked down the aubergine, fried it down for probably 3 minutes just to take away a bit of the edge of it. Now, enter tamari. As Stephen was saying there, aubergines are very sponge-like. They absorb so much flavour. So we're going to go in with 3 tablespoons of tamari just to start with.
Okay. So quickly start to spread that tamari around and they'll start to absorb that wonderful umami flavour. So will the mushrooms.
So aubergines typically take about 8 minutes in a hot pan. So I obviously don't want them to stick much more, and I want the tamari umami flavour to spread a bit more. I'm going to add in 5 tablespoons of water.
In on top of that, I'm putting the juice of half a lemon. Again, it'll get into the aubergine cell, it'll help break it down, you end up with this beautiful melt in your mouth aubergine. I'm squeezing it through my hand just to make sure no pips end up in our dinner.
And I'm just going to stir that around, and we're going to cook these down for another 5 to 8 minutes. So you really want to stew down the aubergines. We've cooked them for, I'd say, 8 minutes altogether. It's really starting to break down and come together.
The point to note about the aubergine is when you get an aubergine on its own, taste it. It should not taste rubbery. It should literally break down in your mouth. And once it hits that texture, boom, this dish is ready to go.
Game on. So now to make our sauce, I've got a typical 400 gram tin of chopped tomatoes. I'm going to add it straight into the pan.
In on top, we got
160 ml of coconut milk. At 40 ml
per person
per serving, coconut milk is low FODMAP.
Okay, cool. So we put in the full fat, the cream to it, just to make it more indulgent. Time to add in our spices. We're keeping this super democratic and accessible, just 2 tablespoons of curry powder. Next step, time to add our protein. We're going with chickpeas. It's 42 grams per person, makes it low FODMAP. So we're gonna put in 160 grams of drained chickpeas. Cooked chickpeas, obviously.
So this might all sound quite complicated, this low FODMAP lark and what quantities and whatnot. There's full lists, you'll find it all online, there's full recipes and details about what's low FODMAP and what's not. Certain foods are obviously much more fermentable than others and it's just reducing them.
And in terms of our course, Rosie's a plant-based dietitian. She helped kind of go through it and approve all the recipes so that they're all low FODMAP, delicious and taste great. Final thing, just to take this to the next level, is we've got chive. Lovely chive, or else leek greens if you can't get chive. Just chop them nice and finely. If you're not very good with a knife, a good way of chopping leaves is with it, or chives is with a scissors. In goes a good handful of chive just to help add that contrast of colour.
But it should stew down. The whole dish takes 15 minutes. It's easy, low FODMAP, chickpea, aubergine and oyster mushroom curry.
Looks
delicious.
great.
Yeah, it really does present well. So it'd be great served with kind of quinoa, any kind of grain, whatever you're into. Low FODMAP is typically gluten-free, so if I was serving this with noodles, I'd use buckwheat or
brown rice.
Brown rice, yeah.
Super tasty. The mushrooms really add a meatiness, a real chewy factor. And the aubergines just melt in your mouth.
Delicious, really tasty, simple. For more details about our Hot Be Good course, check out down below. And as we said, we're going to do a low FODMAP dinner recipe each Friday in January, so do check them out.
And please share this anyone you know who's kind of digestive issues and looking to improve their digestion.
Bloating, IBS, etc.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mel, for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and
cheers!